Hey, what's up everyone? It's your girl Brain Shanae, and today I'm going to be sharing with you a book review, and not just any book review, a book that I just finished and I was madly in love with it. I just read it like in 5 days. I know if you on my Goodreads it was longer, but literally I just started reading it last Tuesday and I just finished it last night. So yes, so the book that I'm going to be reviewing, I won't even do an intro. I'm just going to go jump right in if I may. But anyway, the book that I'm going to be reviewing hasn't come out yet. It actually comes out in October. I was chosen from Penguin Teen or Penguin Random House as to be one of their influencers for this campaign, and this is one of the books that I had got from them, and I was so excited to get this. Especially how they compared it to the other book of Children of Blood and Bone by Tommy Adeyemi, and they were spot on. There were some similarities in this book that are similar to that book as well, and I was just blown away by this book, and I just loved it. I loved everything about it. I love the location. But anyway, I need to introduce to you what book I'm talking about. So the first book, or the book that I'm talking about, is A River of Royal Blood by Amanda Joy. So this book was amazing. Okay, the chapters aren't long, which I know a lot of people do not like chapters that are long. It seems like it's prolonging the book, and it's like, okay, all that detail wasn't necessary. But this book, every detail was necessary, but like I said, the chapters were not long at all. They were really short and down to the point and action-packed. Nothing but action in this book, I promise you. So first off, look at this cover. It is amazing. But once again, it comes out in October, so please watch out for this book because it's going to be amazing, and I don't want you to miss out, especially if you want to rep yourself up for get yourself more acquainted with this type of book, because then Tommy Adeyemi's new book, Children of Virtue and Vengeance, is going to be coming out in December. So this is, like I said, this is pretty much a similarity to Children of Blood and Bone by Tommy Adeyemi, but this has more of a twist to it. And I love this book so much. So the main character, we have Evelina. She is an heir, a blood heir, what have you. And her sister is also a blood heir. Pretty much what that means is once the youngest sister has reached her age, which is 17, I believe, she's now considered a woman. But with this, since there's two sisters, there can only be one heir. So literally, what do? Wait for it. They have to fight to the death. Whoever wins this battle that they fight against each other and kills one or the other, that person that survives becomes the queen. And it was just amazing about this book. I loved everything. There was a love affair in this book that has happened with Evelina and one of her guards that's actually a prince, but he's undercover low-key, and just to guard her, watch over her. And he was suggested, and Akito was suggested, which is the prince, that's his name, was suggested by Evelina's father, which he was the king at the time and everything. So I don't want to give it too much away. I don't want to spoil it. But anyway, this book was action-packed. I love this very much. I'm going to be showing you this in my wrap-up, but I will tell you I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars completely. Like, I didn't hesitate to put 5 stars for this because this is amazing. I really love Evelina. I love the aspects of this book because not only does it shares the West African culture, and then it provides different tribes within Africa, and each tribe is different, but this time they're like animals. They're like they have horns. Some are human, some are bloodkin. There's a whole different thing. I wish I could probably give you more detail if I can find it. Maybe I can find it and tell you more about what a bloodkin is, what a khmer is. There is so much. I wish I like notated it so I could like introduce it to you, because it's really interesting, and I love this book so much. So let me see if I can find it because this was really interesting and a great detail that I think is very spot on with this book, giving you a better understanding of what each tribe was. If I can find it, it's okay. So found it, yay! So there's 4 races dwelled in Mire. There was human, the Fae or Fee, the bloodkin, and the khmer. Of the four, only bloodkin, Fae or Fee, and humans were allowed to live freely in the capital, and the city was divided evenly among them. And it says humans lived in the southern sector, Fae in the east, and bloodkin in the north. And then the Red River was the west of the city, where its red-brown waters were clogged with river ships and water markets. So altogether, it's a lot of diversity, but in African culture, which is amazing because in African culture, you have so many tribes and they're so different, so many traditions, so much everything. I love this book so much. There was a lot of mystery. Literally, there's going to be a second book. I promise you that, especially how it ended. It was amazing. The aspect, once again, that I love the most about this book was Evelina finding herself, finding that courage, finding that confidence that she needed to show that she was worth something. And in my review in Goodreads that I have posted, if you do follow me or if you want to become my friend, or just read the review I put, she reminded me so much of like how my older sister and my older sister and I were. So like Evelina has an older sister. Her older sister was of course the oldest. So she liked the attention, or her mother provided her most of the attention, or her family provided her most of the attention. Where you have Evelina, the youngest sister, who was pretty much looked down upon. Just seemed like she wasn't welcome, or she was different, or she wasn't as talkative as her sister, which it's crazy because I really am, like, I feel close to Evelina when I read this, because I had certain circumstances that I had went through that she had went through in this book. I'm talking like she's a real person, but she felt like a real person when I was reading this. I felt like I was in the world when I was reading this. But anyway, she felt down. She was always looked down upon by people elder than her, or people in the court, I should say. But the only people that supported her was her father, which she calls Papa, and Mirabelle, which is her maid that has watched over Evelina. And with that, she's always and she even left the actual capital to stay with her Papa in a different it's a different area, I should say, maybe 2 days away from the capital of Mare. And so she felt indifferent. Her mother treated her indifferent. She was not worth it. But the thing about this that I will say, I'm yapping, but I love this book so much. The one thing that I did love about this book that has some similarities was that everyone has magic. Some people have magic in this book that we get from Children, Blood, and Bone. But with this, they already possessed their magic. Their magic wasn't taken. But with Evelina, she couldn't get into the groove of her magic, for if that makes sense. She knew she had the magic, but she didn't know how to conjure her magic. Like her older sister was able to get it and everything. She didn't have to try to focus so much with her powers, and her powers naturally came. With Evelina, there was a lot of struggle, and her dad was trying to help her, trying to go to these different tribes to see how she can conjure up her magic. There is more mystery in between that, but I'm not going to spoil it for you. But with that, she went everywhere trying to conjure her magic, until one day, when someone almost tried to kill her, she conjured it. And with her, and the thing is, a lot of people, she was looked down upon through her court and her mother and her older sister. But the thing is, they were actually scared of her. So with Evelina, she had a certain power that a queen in the past had, and everyone was scared of her. And I believe, because I remember it was like marrow and blood. Still, Evelina's magic was of marrow, of blood and bone, I believe. Let me just double check here just to make sure. I believe it was blood, marrow and blood, where she could circulate her power through blood or through bone. And I just really was, yes, the 17-year-old Evelina is a princess born with the magic of blood and marrow. Everyone thought or believed that she was dangerous based on the magic that she has, because in the past a queen had that power, and she was very dangerous, was very murderous. She had killed a lot of innocent people or what have you. And so with that, they were just really threatened by Evelina, and they really didn't want her to have her magic, like for her to conjure her magic. They're like, well, if she can't conjure her magic, then we'll just already announce her older sister as the queen without even doing the duel or whatever. That was completely messed up. But anyways, like, that was the gist of most of this book, finding Evelina trying to find herself and having confidence in herself. And I feel like as a POC community as well, we all have to have constant confidence and help each other when we need help, or encourage, just everyone, POC, or just regular booktubers, whatever. We should always encourage every single person, especially in the booktube community. I try to encourage everyone regardless of their skin color, because I think we're all here for one cause, and that's because we love reading books, and I just love this book. But anyways, that was the gist of this story. I'm not trying to give you more than what I should, because it was so good. There's so much detail in this book that I loved so much. But if you would be interested in this book, you guys, this will be coming out in October, so you better watch out for this. And like I said, it's called A River of Royal Blood by Amanda Joy. This is an amazing book. You don't want to miss out. Like I said, it's similarities to Children of Blood and Bone. So if you want to just read something similar to that before the second book of Tommy Adeyemi's of Children of Virtue and Vengeance, you should definitely check this book out, because this is amazing. It kept me reading. It was a page turner. I like literally this was me. Like literally, it was action packed. I like literally, my husband was looking at me weird, like, what is wrong with her? Because I was so into this book, like, you have no idea. But anyways, I'm done rambling. I really recommend this book. It is amazing. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. But anyways, if you enjoyed this video and would like to hear more from me and my crazy rants in my videos, please give me a thumbs up. Also hit the subscribe button and that bell to be notified when I upload more videos in the future. But thank you so much, you guys. See ya.